Hi, everybody. Welcome back to episode 128 of the Bucs UK podcast. It's award season. As you can see, at least Alex has made an effort. He scrubs up nice. He's even had a haircut, I think, as well. So we're all good to go. As ever, if this is the first time, Bucs UK, we are the Bucs UK fan club. That means we are a membership club. That also means awards are voted for by you, our members, and so that means these are special awards. These aren't sort of given out by members of the press. These are rank and file Bucks fans. There's a number of categories, and the first one is Offensive Player of the Year. So, without any further ado, I'll try and all that sort of stuff. And the nominees are Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Baker Mayfield, and Tristan Wirfs. It's not often we get an offensive lineman nominated for Offensive Player of the Year.
No. Go on, Marianne.
Talking about Tristan Wirfs, I mean, he obviously made the move this year from the right tackle to left tackle, and I think while I was nervous off season, he's made the move superbly, and he's transitioned as the consummate professional that we know him to be. So, not surprised he's up there in the running at all.
Definitely made a huge upgrade to Donovan Smith. Really showed it last year.
Although one's got more Super Bowl rings than the other.
I was about to say, is that Donovan Smith a Super Bowl winner again? Yeah.
Of course, we've got the man Mike Evans there as well. Fully deserved. But 10 straight seasons with at least 1,000 yards. The only player to do it in NFL history. Definitely deserved his place as part of the nominees. Incredible player, and he's just been signed as well. He's coming back, which is great news for us as Bucs fans.
Yeah, the unsung hero. Yeah,
we all love Mike, don't we? And we love Tristan. I think he needs an award just for that switch he made from right to left. When no one's mentioned Baker yet, and the thing about Baker for me, if you'd have said to me 12 months ago that I'd be in 12 months' time sitting, waiting with my phone in hand, checking it every few minutes to see if we'd re-signed him, I'd have said you were barking mad. But that's what I was doing because that's how well he played and we all wanted him to come back. So I'm delighted to see him back as well.
I mean, the start of the season, when we were doing the predictions, we found out that Baker had joined us. We'd all got first top 5 picks, not a chance. Caleb Williams was coming to Raymond James, but I just think the guy has been phenomenal. Not only for his playing and his bravery with running with the ball, but apparently what I can hear from the players, his leadership in the locker room. He's just grasped that nettle and ran with it, and the boy deserves his contract. And fantastic to think that we nearly actually made the NFC championship game. It's just unbelievable, incredible.
Yeah, he showed real heart out there this season. I think
amazing.
He's united a team that could have gone in a million different directions. So, yeah, I mean that's a huge bonus for us last year.
Oh, it's huge. Jason Light deserves a medal for that again. And there's the other guy at the end, Mike Evans. He wasn't bad. He didn't do too bad.
The one we haven't mentioned so far, then, Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I was going to say,
surely he deserves some love, doesn't he, Marianna?
Yeah, he definitely deserves some love. Coming back off quite a serious injury, so it was good to see him back, and he was performing back at his high level again. I mean, we did notice at times he was that little outlet for Baker to sort of throw in that mid range. When he can't throw it deep to Evans, and I think Chris Godwin is a very quiet but a key part of the team. So not surprised he's on here. The only person I would say maybe missing by the end of the season, maybe not at the start of the season, but maybe Rashad White by the end of the season could have got a look in on this chart.
Yeah, I'd say on the run game alone, we definitely struggled, although it continued to improve throughout the season. But he made so many catches as well. He was always an outlet. And yeah, he was huge for us this year. Not necessarily just a pure run.
Yeah, 1,500
To,
yards from scrimmage. It's not to be sniffed at.
Well, let's keep the tension no longer because the winner is, and I'm sure this won't surprise many people, Mike Evans. I think,
Yay.
again, I've
Yeah.
lost count now.
Mm.
I think if this was the Jules Rimet, he's probably taking it home by now.
It's getting quite boring, this, isn't it?
I mean, it's just so how much he does, yet he continues to be underrated by the rest of the league.
Yeah, and
It's
I think we always
unbelievable.
say he's big for the Tampa Bay area as well. It's not just what he does on the field; it's what he does off the field for Tampa Bay as a whole as well, with his foundation and so forth. So,
And I also think that he was the crucial first link to keeping this team together. And once he signed, everything else just fell into place. But he was so crucial for us to sign him, so crucial. And again, Mr. Light's done a superb job getting all this lot back together again. It's incredible, incredible.
Right, well, there's Mikey. So that takes us then on to the Defensive Player of the Year. And the nominees are Levante David, Yaya Diaby, Vita Vea, and Antoine Winfield Jr. Obviously, they're in alphabetical order by surname, I should say, on all of these things. There's no preference. Don't try and read anything into left or right.
I'll jump in on this one on Yaya Diaby. Actually, you know me, I love the draft and I love seeing the new players come in. He wasn't he was that sort of mid-round pick for us. And he's really transitioned into the team really well, particularly again coming through in the later part of the season and starting to look like a real sort of natural replacement for Shaq Barrett, who's now left us. So I'm feeling really positive about him for next season. Whether I'd bring him in for the Defensive Player of the Year this year is dubious, but he's definitely a player for the future, and I think he's got a really promising next sort of 4 years ahead of him.
But he certainly made plays every game. Every game he was mentioned, wasn't he? Unlike our favourite JTS, etc. I mean, he was there constantly delivering.
Yeah, I completely agree with what David and Marianna have said about Yaya, but I do just want to wave the flag a bit for Anton Winfield Jr. as well, because he set career highs this season for a lot of categories that you can look at from a defensive side of things. He had 3 interceptions this season, which is the most he's had personally. So that's a new career high from there. The most solo tackles he's ever had as well. So he's amongst others as well. That's just 2 there for you, but he really showed what he can do as defensive back, and we were excited when we drafted him. And 4 years with the team, and he's just getting better and better and better. He really is.
Yeah, he was a ball hog. Every time we needed something to happen on defense, he was the man that jumped up and made that pick or made that play.
You're right, and there's like ice running through his veins because they were key plays at key points in the game where anyone else would be like, "Oh, I'm not sure about this. I don't want to get a flag." He's in a very vulnerable position. But yeah, absolutely.
The thing about him is as well that he never gives up on a play, does he? I mean, that play against Atlanta when he tackled Ridder, was it, I think, and the ball went through the back of the side of the end zone. That was a touchdown saving tackle. He did it again later. He's just all over the place. He never gives up. If he doesn't win this, then the good people of the Bucs UK need to kick themselves in the backside.
You tell him, Gary. You tell
Gary
him.
Name was calling it from the beginning.
I tell you what.
It's funny what Gary just said there, because what my gut is saying is a lot of people love Levante David, and now we know he's re-signed again, but there was a lot of questions about that during the off-season. Was he going to retire? Was that going to be it? So it'll be interesting to see whether don't get me wrong, Levante still had an incredible season. He really, really did. Every year he's been a great captain for the team. He works so hard in that linebacker position, but I wonder if there might be a little bit of a sentimental vote that might have happened here. So I'll be curious to see that when the winner gets announced.
Well, I think you're right. Levante David, I'm so glad he's re-signed, and hopefully retires as a Buck. I know obviously he's still got a few years left, but I'm going to put it out there. In my mind, Levante David is as good as Derek Brooks.
Yeah. I think when you sit and look at all these four players in front of us now, we've got great hope for the future. You build a team through drafts, and you look at those three players, Winfield, Vea, and Diaby. Great draft picks and good players going forward. But you've got to have a general in there. You've got to have somebody marshalling it. And in Levante David, we've got it. He probably can see that we're going to have a good season next year. So I think we are. And I think he's going to be key to it all,
I mean, the season before last, it showed when we missed him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it really stood out how much we missed generally on the defence the season before last. So travelling back was fantastic. And I did a lot of work covering Devon White as well.
Yeah. Our one season wonder.
And then there's the last name. Remember, there's someone who gave up dentistry for this club, Vita Vea. I think that he's still one of the players on our defence that every time the offence has to account for.
Oh, yeah. Double team him every single time because he's like a wrecking ball, isn't he? When he's on form, just gets injured a bit, doesn't he, these days? But just a great. As I said, three great players there to build for the future.
So Gary thinks he's called it. Sorry, go on, Alex.
Sorry, yeah, no, just quickly. In terms of Vita, name me a better nose tackle in the NFL. I'll wait for someone to give me an answer because I bet. Well, in terms of currently, you can't name a better nose tackle than Vita Vea.
Alex is manning the lemonade stand ably. If anyone wants to come, and he'll wait for you. So let's wait and see. No longer. Gary thinks he's called it. Has he? Because the winner is, in fact, it is. It's Antoine Winfield Jr. Of course it is.
Of course it is.
We can all not have to kick ourselves.
There you go. The Bucs UK people, the voters are indeed sane. Okay, so then we're on to lineman of the year. So this was before Tristan Wirfs was getting nominations left, right, and centre. This was about making sure that the offensive line and defensive line, who are both in the playing for this award, had some form of recognition for themselves. And so the nominees are Yaya Diaby, Kalijah Kancey, Vita Vea, and Tristan Wirfs. Starting to see some recurring themes, but it's nice to see Kancey pop up there as well.
I'll jump in again. we love another rookie, and I'll go in on Kalijah Kancey this time. So coming out, he was obviously our number one pick, and I think in some ways he's not been quite as flashy as Diaby. Diaby, I think because we picked him just a little bit later, I think you really notice because his name is being called, but Kancey, I think, has started well and again is something to build on. And when you look at, as you say, these draft picks, which I think we all remember these picks coming in, and then none of these players have been in the league for that long. I think Vey is the longest serving of this group. What a group of linemen on both the defensive and offensive side that we've got there to, as you say, to build on and to just enhance. Such a great group. But yeah, Kalijah Kancey, I think, again, another one that's going to produce well in the future. So we're sort of we're stacked on D, I guess. If you're looking at this, be a good season coming up, I think, for the D.
I think I'm going to take the Gary Bottley approach to this. If Tristan Wirfs doesn't win this, I mean, to move from one side to the other and perform like he did is just absolutely incredible. He anchors our line, and every time we say he's out or he's hurt, there's a deep intake of breath of, oh, crikey, what's going to happen now? The man's just a monster. Absolutely, he's absolutely fantastic. We're so lucky to have him as well. Because if you actually go back to the draft, you look at the players that went before him, none of them have achieved what he's achieved. None of them.
And it was meant to be a bumper crop, and we were worried about who was falling down. And exactly.
Yeah, we got the best.
I do want to talk quickly about someone who isn't actually on here, which I want to give sorry, excuse me. I want to give a mention to Robert Hainsley. actually, because obviously we lost Big Red. He had to we had to say goodbye to him due to injury. So there was always going to be a big question as to who was going to fill Ryan Jensen's shoes. Actually, I think considering the player that he had coming and replace, I thought Robert Hainsey did a really a really good job last season. I'm not trying to compare him to Tristan Wirfs is. We all know how outstanding Tristan Wirfs is, but when you consider Robert's position and who he had to follow, I thought he was really really good last season. I really do.
Yeah, he's quite versatile, isn't he? So he can play either of the guard spots, and now he can play centre. So, I mean, he did do a good job. He doesn't deserve to be on this list, but he's a good piece to have, on the roster. Just picking up Marianna's point about Kalijah Cansey. Don't forget he didn't play the first 3 or 4 games. He had a calf injury, so he came on pretty strong. And him and Veer in the middle of the D line, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But I agree with Phil. This is Tristan Wirfs' award to lose, I think.
Well, shall we see if you're right? Because the winner is, I feel like I need to do a virtual drum roll. Of course, it is Tristan Wirfs. The most important spot on the line from someone shifting into that spot. He's also by far got the best face makeup of anyone in the league. If that was a separate award category, he would mop up too. Tristan, we love you. Now, of course, it's the most prestigious award. I think you'll all agree. Special Teams Player of the Year. It's a third of the game. Trademark pending. Unsurprisingly, the nominees this year, Jake Kamada and Chase McCaughlin. No non-kicking players. In the past, we've had tacklers or special teamers on the list, but this year it's just down to the 2 specialists. How'd you choose between them?
I think some would argue that Jake Kamada was actually our best tackler in special teams.
I'm not trying to be a bit of a spoil sport on this one, but look, we can say that both of them did a tremendous job last season. They did what was expected of them. We know Jake Kamada's got a heck of a leg, and when if you get pinned back in on your 20-yard line or whatever, and you need someone to punt it 70 yards or around about that area, we know Jake Kamada's going to do it. And you could definitely say he bailed us out on many occasions, and I think he won the award last year as well for it. I think he did. So, but yeah, Jake Kamada, a good punter can be seriously underrated, and he's been brilliant since he came in.
Although kickers, now we can have a whole episode on new kickoff rules coming. Trust me, and we'll make it a 3-parter. But I think the importance of the place kicker could be rising in the NFL.
I was about to jump in on that, Kieron. I thought you'd be up on that. The change to the kickoff is certainly going to change the importance of special teams in general and how we play that position and that part of the game. And hopefully maybe next year we might see a return man on here as well. This is my hope for next season's awards. For me, of the 2, I would say Chase probably just picked it for me. Made some key field goals in certain moments, but yeah, they both are superb players. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see with the changes this season.
I think we can safely say that the curse of Matt Bryant has been put to bed now after Ryan Suckup was pretty good, and McLaughlin was just phenomenal last year, wasn't he? I think he only missed 3 field goals, I think, all year. 2 of them were blocked. So is that down to him? I don't know. And he hit a post on one. Every single extra point he made. So we're at the point now where we're watching kicks and we're not watching them from behind the sofa.
But it's not just the kick's accuracy; it's the extra yardage.
Yes,
that he could kick from, which was huge. It got a lot more points where before, another 10 yards back, we won't have punt a lot more. So,
Do you know,
his leg got us an extra lot of points.
I think the interesting thing is we've looked at all the categories tonight, and we pretty much could work out who was going to win. This one is a lot closer than we are extremely lucky to have two people like this in our special teams. The McLaughlin incredibly consistent, and I think 12 months ago somebody mentioned that we ought to have Commander on our offensive player of the year. His kicking was so good and so accurate.
But David's got him a defensive as well, so
Yeah, the whole lot, so we are so lucky. So, I couldn't call this one at all because we're so lucky. So lucky.
right. Well, let's see how lucky one of these players are. Actually, I can say from the voting perspective, it wasn't as close as you would think. I would say with a vote of about 75%, it's Chase.
Well,
Yeah.
I think people do remember shades of Matt Bryant and the suck up's great accuracy, but not the range. So so well done, Chase. You are our special teams player of the year. So then on to rookie of the year. So the nominees for rookie of the year are Yaya Diaby, Christian Isian, and Kalijah Cansey. So another new face appears.
Oh, go on. Let me jump in again on
Go on.
Christian Isian. Christian Isian, I believe, from Rutgers, and he wasn't even drafted by us, was he? He was an unsigned. He was an undrafted player that we pulled in, and my God, did he really turn up?
You doubly well to get into the NFL from Rutgers. We know who coaches there.
I mean, just the lad turned up for us, though. I mean, he really. I love to see a player like that has come from sort of undrafted, sort of come from nowhere, and just comes out and really makes the team. I love a story like Christian Isian. So I'd in terms of the story, I'd love him to get this award because I am a person who appreciates a player that goes out and really does put 100% in and wants to make a career. He's right on that sort of bubble, and he makes it like he has. Do I think he's going to get the award? I think the guy is Diaby is going to get this out of those three actually, but. Yeah, the story of Isian, I think, deserves it for me.
I think whoever took the photo deserves an award. As someone who takes photos of rugby, what a cracking photo. That's my favourite photo of the year.
Can I just make a case for somebody who's not on the list?
Please
and
do.
That is our second round pick, Cody March.
Cody March.
Played every game. Never really heard his name called by the commentators, which is, as you know, always a really good thing for an O-lineman.
From memory, I think he only got one nomination, so he missed out the cutoff.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was just going to say that about him, and just overall, what a good draft again. Jason Knight and the team did. I mean, the fact that we picked so many players, and so many got on the field consistently was just huge.
I think as well we had to have a good draft. Because we were so restricted in cap money. We just had to sort of Jason Light just had to come through, and my word, did he come through! You got foundation blocks here again with what we've been saying earlier to build for the future. I've seen all these free agency signings and all the big monies have gone, and we've done hardly anything in free agency but sign our own players, and that to me speaks volumes.
So who do we think's going to win? Anyone leaning? Anyone put their neck out?
Diaby.
Yaya had more splash plays, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, Yaya, the name itself writes the headlines. Are we going to say Ya to Yaya or whatever? Let's find out, because the winner is, of course it is Yaya Diaby, our rookie of the year. And as you've all said, I think it really does bode well for the future that we've got not only that crop, but that contribution from that crop. So we're on home stretch now. Our favourite Buccaneers player, obviously present, Buccaneers player. So all of these people have appeared before: Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antoine Winfield Jr., and Tristan Wirfs.
Fantastic quartet.
Yeah, well, I
You'd
think
buy them all
Mike,
a drink at the bar,
Mike,
wouldn't you?
yeah, yeah.
Can we just have
I
all
mean,
four? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
it's a bit of a tricky
Steve
one,
was-
this one, because, you know, I mean, Mike,
it's like the growth of the Bucks, isn't it? It's, a sort of ongoing generation things. From Mike's been there, done it. Godwin's right behind him. Births and Winfielders and you up and coming. What's great is there's people to love throughout the whole team.
I mean, just to quickly sort of really summarise on the four, all of them top players, all of them are great for the Tampa community, all of them happy to interact with fans when they're at the stadium, make big plays. They all deserve to be on it. Phil always said, a tricky decision here, and as Gary said, a top quartet there. And any one of them deserve this award.
I think my vote went for Chris Godwin because I just think he's our unsung hero. And if I had to be criticism of the coach, and if you are watching, coach, by the way, we didn't use him enough. And I just got the, how many times, he wasn't used in the first half of the game and things like that.
Early on in the
They used
season,
him
it
in
felt
the
like
wrong
Baker.
spot.
Sorry, it felt like Baker had a good connection with him at one point.
Yeah, but he sort of drifted out, and I just couldn't understand why they weren't using him more. But I just think he's our unsung hero. I really do. I just think he's.
I still think he's
Every team is a
wide
Godwin.
receiver one. Any other team, he'd be wide receiver
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Well,
You've got to
I'll
have two
tell you what,
top.
Phil. Just to carry on your point there as well. I thought exactly the same as you about. Oh, I didn't really see him get used, and then to see that he still had over 1,000 yards in the
Yeah.
season as well. I mean, I don't really know where that came from, so I completely understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah. Oh, he's a phenomenal player. It's now they're both resigned. And also the other talents we've got at wide receivers as well. It bodes well for the future. It bodes well.
I also think Evans and Godwin, they make each other better. Both training together, the mentality, their friendship, the camaraderie, but also you can't double both of them on the field.
No.
So it just creates gaps and spaces which to date maybe we've not been as good as a team at utilising as we should be. But I think it's there. I think it's the first time in a while, as far as I can remember, we've also had a lineman on this list as well for favourite Buccaneers player.
Oh, he just is, incredible player.
Okay, so we'll see. The winner is Mike Evans. I think there would have been a number of tattoo shops working overdrive if he'd have gone somewhere else. There's many people with him adorning their body, or I think you can see he's got enough going on himself as well. Definitely a team player, definitely one that the fans really engage with. Okay, then. So now. Yeah, apparently there are 31 other teams in the league. I must admit, I only tend to see who we play against each week. NFL Player of the Year. Apparently there's some other teams. Blah blah blah. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, or C.J. Stroud. Who is your NFL Player of the Year?
Oh,
I mean, I just want to kick off talking about Christian McCaffrey. Last season. He was quite simply a cheat code, especially when you play NFL, play fantasy football. If you had him in your team, he was absolutely ripping the league to shreds. And then you look at CJ Stroud as well. For a rookie season, he had an incredible season. I thought he was superb. And then when you think about who's just been added to the Texans as well, CJ Stroud and Stephon Diggs, that could be a scary combination going forward. Not going to talk about that guy with the red shirt number 15 on. I think he's had enough praise over the years.
Probably dating Taylor Swift or something.
I think the whole of Kansas City Chiefs players are dating Taylor Swift from what we see on telly.
If Travis Kelce's round your house tomorrow, Alexander, well, you'll know why. Or because we're great by knocking your door down. Yeah.
I won't hear it.
If he is there, it'll be like Honey Monster coming in. There'll be this Travis-shaped hole in the wall.
McCaffrey had a good season because he was injury free, but the way he plays, he's just
Mm.
an injury waiting to happen. You know, he's just. I don't think I've ever seen a running back go so hard and take so much punishment and stand up. You know, he's always going to be in that way. But I thought CJ Stroud did extremely well for his rookie season. And they're going to be a force next year because they've added some good weapons in free agency, and they've got I can't remember his name now. They've got one of the receivers coming back as well who was injured, so it's going to be interesting there. It's going to be interesting, you know. But McCaffrey would get my vote. It was phenomenal. I'm not voting for Mahomes on principle, you know. So
I mean,
shame on any Bucs UK fan voted for.
Yeah, we can dislike Mahomes all we like, but
he's not bad.
What I'll say is he did not have a team of star wide receivers around him. Yes, he had Kelsey, but the other receivers he had around him, he had what? Rashee Rice, a rookie. He had Kadarius Toney, who was a dropout from the Giants and was a healthy scratch at the Super Bowl because he basically didn't turn up and play. You know, he didn't have and what their top receiver, I think, was Marcus Valdes-Scantling. So it wasn't like a team full of superstars. And what Mahomes, and I think to a bigger degree, I would have to put it on Andy Reid, but you know what the Chiefs did, I would put heavily down to Mahomes, and he shows what a great quarterback can do for a franchise. And obviously CJ Stroud, breaking the sort of Ohio State quarterback curse. I think hopefully by the looks of things, he's proved himself last year as a superb talent, and with the weapons that they've got, and maybe picking up some players in the draft, I think they're going to be a competitive team going forward next year. So
I think we're going to say a few words to this guy on the left, Lamar Jackson. He's a one-man wrecking crew, isn't he? He is the Baltimore Ravens.
He's been quiet for a few years, so he seems to have a resurgence, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a good player, though. I mean, as soon as he takes off of the ball, you've got problems. But I've got Derrick Henry as well. So. Yeah, so I'll be interested.
A few Titan fans I know that were hanging over window ledges on that one.
Untrue, that was.
So the thing for me on this particular award is it should go to the player who sort of means the most to the team that they play for. You know, take him out of the team and it's not the same team. But this quartet, you could make an argument, all four of them influence their team so much to the point that if they didn't play, it wouldn't be the same team. I mean, can you see Kansas winning the Super Bowl without Mahomes?
No.
Could you see San Francisco even get into the Super Bowl without McCaffrey? You know, they're a fantastic quartet. I couldn't call this one who's going to win it.
Well, in that case, I will put you out of your misery. But I was pleased to see CJ Stroud there. Unusual to see a rookie. When we played the Texans, I think for me that was a real eye opener to see him, watching him for a whole 4 quarters rather than just red zone. It was actually, I thought, all these players, but him at every down, something dangerous could have happened. And I think you don't want to base everything off a rookie season, but I think great potential there. But the winner is actually they all received quite a lot of votes, and it was quite clearly these 4 that our members liked. But there was a winner, and it was Christian McCaffrey. Quarterbacks can go do one. We like running backs, it would seem.
We like him more because he's not a Carolina player anymore.
We've probably seen enough of him over the years.
He wouldn't have got a vote if he'd been very like Carolina.
Is it also good to see a running back, like a running game? So we're kind of missing it at the Bucs at times. So it's good to see what can happen when the run game works.
Cool. Right, we're nearly there now. This one, controversial with some people, but for Phil, David, and myself, it's important that the work of our members is recognised. This is Bucs UK Member of the Year. Many nominations: Alex Oldham, Adam Davis, Dominic Hodgkinson, Christy Thomas, Flag Lady herself, Stuart Blackmore, Ian Costain, Pete Payne, and Tim Lewis. But this is not by no means a definitive list of all of our members that do good things.
Cool. What a bunch of rogues you've got there. Dear, oh dear.
The common thread, they
I'll
all
keep
like
qui-
Jaeger bombs, I think.
That's the whole club. That is.
I won't. I won't talk on this one as there could be a clash of interest on this, so I'll keep them.
But well done for making it to the list,
Yeah.
Alex, and thank you for all that you do for the club as well as everyone else there.
The thing is, overall, this club has grown so much in the last 10 years, and there's so much more on offer than what there was 10 years ago. You need people all like this that's supporting you, else it won't work. And I've got to say, we not only to do things, but to support us in our functions and our AGM and our watch parties and all that. And so you need people like this to make it tick.
And Gary, I will say you were nominated as well. You were below the 3-vote threshold I used for the cutoff. But thank you also for your help with the competitions as well.
It's my pleasure. Looking forward to it again this coming season.
That's one volunteer we've got. There we go.
But that's the point. And if anyone is watching that is a member and does want to get more involved in running the club, you are very welcome. Do just get in touch.
Yeah, podcasts, anything. Well,
I also just say, just before you do announce the winner, I'm going to ignore. I want people to ignore me on there. I just want to talk about the other people on there. All people who I have the pleasure of communicating with throughout the year. People that I get along with really well at the club. They're all brilliant people. They really are, and all do different things to the club. And as Phil said, it's great to have so many people, not just the people who see on the screen, but there's even more people that aren't listed on there who while we've got yourself, Kieron, Bill, and David, who do quite simply a tremendous job for this club running it, to have all the other people behind the scenes that help you where they can and do everything they can. It shows, in a short time I've been with Bucs UK, that it's growing immensely, and I'm sure it's been an even bigger journey for yourselves and people who've been with the club longer. And it's great to see how this grows, and it's a pleasure to be with people who do such a great job and make a fantastic Buccaneer community.
Well said.
Yeah, cheers
Brilliant.
for that. I mean, it is, community is huge. That's what it's about. And the fact that so many people are prepared to roll their sleeves up and do their bit is just massive for us, because otherwise it would be an enormous task. So yeah, we're hugely grateful. I'm not sure Dominic Hodgkinson's would really be on there, because I think we all know it's his wife that does all the work.
I'm just gonna say something to make these other two cringe, though. I'll be quite honest. One of the reasons why this club is 40 years old is because the three of us get on so well. And although they keep telling me that I'm the president and all that, it doesn't mean anything, because if we always discuss everything between us, and if two agree and one doesn't, we always go with the majority, and there's never another word said. So that is the reason why this club's survived 40 years, is the fact is we have all the people you see on the screen, all the support we've had, but the fact the three of us get on so well. And thank you to the two of you, because you've made it easy.
You're chopping onions.
Oh
yeah.
No, but I mean, it's everybody. You've got Gary and Adam that do the competitions. Dom does membership. Stuart, Christy, always there to contribute. Ian's been brilliant out in Tampa this year with members. It is Pete on his social media has been superb. Absolutely everybody has made a fantastic contribution.
The other person worth
she-
shouting out to as well is Nigel, who's taken on the competition
Yeah.
prizes. I think that's also worth saying.
Oh,
And
that's
as well,
phenomenal.
Mrs. Dominic, who also is the brains now behind the membership list as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah.
just say a word for Nigel, though. That's a bigger job than you actually
Yeah.
think. Actually, he's lost a bedroom, because of that job, and it is a big job sorting those prizes out.
So thank you one and all. Let's try and get back over there because the winner is,
Drum roll.
drum roll. It's Ian Costain. So I
Yeah.
think, as one of you
Ooh.
said, he's done a fantastic job this year, multiple times, multiple trips to Tampa, making sure our members out there have a means to socialize with each other and get to know and making it a social experience. And I think that's really laid the foundations for what we're trying to plan this year, isn't it, for our 40th anniversary, where
Mm.
we are going to be stateside for a club nominated Tampa trip. So well done, Ian.
And the other thing is, please try and make the AGM, because the presentation of that award is going to be absolutely hilarious.
He will get a trophy after all. It won't be a
Yeah,
fancy football one.
no, he's going to get a trophy. With trophies already done. So, and it's a question of who's going to present it to him: Pete, Dom, Adam. It's going to be interesting. I
He's
know
got to
that.
run off and catch a plane as well. So if we can string it out long enough.
Oh yeah, he won't be catching no plane.
So well done, Ian.
Yeah, well done.
And then we're on to our final category, the Buccaneer of the Year, now called the Brian Ford Buccaneer of the Year because he just kept winning it. So Brian Ford is no longer eligible, but it's named after him instead. So this can be someone on the field, off the field, stateside, UK, whatever it means. It's about what it means to be a Buccaneer, and you can interpret that however you wish. Our nominees are Mike Evans, Martin Fennelly, Judy Ford, and Baker Mayfield. Now, I have got a picture of Judy Ford, I should say, but I didn't want to put a picture. I don't think she would have appreciated having her photo on YouTube. So you'll just have to go with it. I thought it's quite similar as an outline.
Is that just Brian trying to get the award still?
I think I've just got to jump in and say about Martin Finale. I mean, we know he passed away this year, but what a phenomenal job he did over the years. Reported on the books. And I think even if he might not win this, it's just nice to see his name there.
Posthumously, yes, of
Yeah,
course. And he had won our Bucs UK Writer of the Year award when we used to do that one many years ago. He won it, I think 3 or 4 times. So he's right. He covered the Bucs with passion, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was phenomenal, an absolutely phenomenal writer.
He's controversial as well. He doesn't always tick the boxes what like some writers do. He was always controversial and always said it the way it was, and it'd be greatly
He had
missed.
a wonderful style as well. It was one. It wasn't paragraphs. It was one sentence, then a gap, then another sentence. It just was so easy to read, and he made some fantastic points. And I always voted for him for Writer of the Year when we had that, and I was really sad to hear only a few weeks ago that he'd passed away.
Yeah, phenomenal writer. Yeah,
Well,
very knowledgeable.
Well, we're in the sort of process of thanking
me.
everybody. Hold on a minute.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
It's just sort of a bit along the lines of our Bucks community. Also, I think it is, whilst he's not in now, a huge recognition of everybody in the Bucks organisation that still supports us. Obviously, we all know everything that Brian does for us, but Amy in the ticket office, and there's so many others there that just do an incredible job to support us. All the social media team have been brilliant and continue to support us. So I think, we should just give a nod to everybody in the organisation.
Eileen as well, yes.
Eileen, yeah.
And obviously, and Judy, because obviously Judy feels like she gets dragged around from one Bucks UK thing to the next. Obviously, we're delighted to see you, Judy, and we're grateful you tolerate us, and thank you for pretty much adopting us as the next member of your family. But Baker and Mike. So it's not often we get players into this category, but both Baker and Mike.
Baker, I think it has to be what I think Phil made the point in the very first nomination in that Offensive Player of the Year round. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He throws his body into into plays where he probably shouldn't. But, you know, we love to see it. We love to see the way he plays. We love to see him on the sidelines. We love him mic'd up and hearing some of the crazy stuff he's saying to try and get his players, you know, jittered up for the next bit. And I think that's what we're saying by Buccaneer of the Year in terms of the way he plays and the way he puts his heart and soul into every single play. I mean, he really had something to prove this year, which obviously I think makes a difference. But I don't think you're going to see a different Baker next year. I just think that's who he is. He comes out and he plays and he makes it fun. You know, he makes the game fun. You can tell he's enjoying himself, and I love having him as our QB. It's such a change from who we had. You know, we needed someone very different following on from that Tom Brady sort of little stage of our Tampa Bay journey, and I think he's actually made a really nice contrast and a really nice difference to that quarterback position. And as I say, I just love to see the way he plays and always puts in that sort of 100% and throws his body around. So yeah, I think that's why for me he's kind of the Buccaneer of the year in terms of who he is as a player on the field.
He took us from doom and gloom. As I said, doom and gloom. Oh, that's it. We've had it this year. Whoever was writing the season off, and he just took us near to the championship game. I mean, we weren't that far away, and I just think he's been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
I love the way he's embraced the area as well. You know, he's been to Rays games, he's been to Lightning games. He was at the Ron DeBarber film show. And he said also, hasn't he, if he hadn't stayed with the Bucs, he still would have stayed living in Tampa. So, you know, how much of an endorsement is that for the area? But we haven't mentioned Mike particularly either, have we? I mean, Mike...
Oh, he's had enough awards for one night here.
Well, he has.
I mean, he is a legend, isn't he?
I just go back to what Jason... no, it was Joel Glazer, wasn't it, recently said he's Mr. Buck. He said it about Levante David as well, but, you know, you can make a case for both of them being Mr. Buck.
Yeah.
And you very much hope one day he'll be on the field with the other people with the gold jackets.
Oh, no question.
And you know, Tampa, you know, permanence.
Name on the stadium with his number alongside it saying that they've retired the number 13. It's just, you know, it's just waiting to happen.
Yeah. Totally agree with that.
And the fact that he's been on the screen so much tonight, I think, is testament to that. So as you say, we've said plenty about him. But there can only be one Buccaneer of the Year. And that Buccaneer of the Year is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
As you said, Marianna, I think the one thing you said is kind of, his performances commanded not just respect, but admiration and gratitude. And I feel like he had something to prove, but he proved it as a team. There's plenty of people that could come in as a high value free agent and want to get their bonuses or want to get their stats. There's so many times he didn't take the stats, but he took the team result. And I grew to love him as the season went on, and it's very hard, you know, for such a key position in such a short period of time. I think the future's bright.
Yeah.
And of course, re-signed.
Yeah, well deserved.
So that wraps up our awards ceremony. Thank you very much to all those that voted. Thank you very much also to our commentary panel. You were all very even-handed, even when you thought it might have been more one-sided. I can tell. Thank you guys very much for watching. Maybe David, just one last thing in terms of all the things that are coming up in the calendar ahead. I know there's quite a few, but just some of the main things.
Well, the big one is obviously the summer AGM, 15th of June, down at the Red Lion in Hemel, our new adopted home. It's not just an AGM, it's a barbecue, it's a party, and it's a huge cornhole championships, which get bigger and bigger and more fun every year. So, yeah, come along. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be lots of fun. It's a great place for you to actually meet other members. And even if you're new to the NFL and you're just becoming a Bucs fan, come along. It'd be great to see you. It's all
If
good
you
fun.
are one person by yourself, come along. There will be other one people by themselves. There is an all-you-can-eat barbecue. We're there all afternoon and all evening. And tickets are from member emails and on the forum.
Yeah, it's all on there. So yeah, emails have gone out. We'll send another one out in the next few days just to remind you all that it's out there. Yeah, so get your tickets early. That'd be great if you can help us do that. And then, of course, 40th anniversary, all the big planning going. We're desperately waiting for the schedule so we can organise the tour. So it's going to be a great trip over to the Bucs. We've got lots of things hopefully planned for all the members, and to get as many members as we possibly can over for a single game. It's going to be fantastic. The Bucs, I can't wait to see us out there. I think they've got a lot of surprises for us. I think it's going to be great. So as soon as we get that schedule, we'll be speaking with the Buccaneers who want to be involved in selecting the game with us. And yeah, time to sort of start planning and get them flights booked.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll let you know the game as soon as we possibly can. We know the schedule's coming out in about a month from now, but give us 48 hours after that just to get everything nailed down. And we'll tell you the information as soon as we can. But until next time, thank you, Gary, Phil, Marianne, David, and Alex. We'll see you guys soon as well. And as ever, go Bucks!
Go
Go
Bucs.
Bucks.
Bucks.